Hello again, everyone. This is a Motorola 1948 blonde cabinet, VT-71. Going to be doing a little repair on this set, and this is not going to be a full restore. This is just going to be a resurrection / repair. This is a very early TS-4 chassis. Tuner has channel 1, as you can see on the front of the cabinet there. Doesn't have fine tuning, has the tuning slugs that you access from the bottom of the set to tune each slot on the tuner. Harder to find cabinets with the blonde finish, and it's in pretty decent shape. Top and the front look really good. Of course, we need some cleaning there on the picture tube, and the surround is melted like they all do. And we got some veneer missing over here on the sides. Small piece on the right side. But this set is such an early version of the little 7-inch sets that I just want to kind of keep it the way it is. We'll get the chassis going, and we'll replace the caps like we normally do. You know, make sure the chassis is working okay. But very little cosmetically we're going to do to this set. Here's a look at the back of the set. Original metal back. Of course, screws are missing. Cord's still on it. And I doubt if we can use that cord, but it's probably an original cord, I would say. And here's a look at the chassis. Has a glass ballast tube. But the chassis, you'll notice, is just a chassis color. It's not the copper color like most of the little Motorola's were. And there's differences inside on it too. High voltage cage. It's more of the square cage rather than the rounded corner cage you see on most of the sets. One tube that's different. I know the audio tube's different, but we'll cover all that when I get the chassis pulled out. Here's the lower plate on the set. This will show you the channel presets. This set has 8 different slots. This is channel 1, and 2 through 13 is on 7 different slots, and you pick the channel in your area on a couple of those to tune them in. And here's the tuning coils here. You can see there's 8 of them. It starts right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those that you see right there. And the picture tube tested it on a good working chassis, and it's good. So we'll be reusing it. Now, these are not the original knobs on this set. Some type of a universal with an insert in them, but you know, I kind of like the looks of them, so I may leave them on there. I think I have some of the blonde Motorola knobs I might be able to dig up, but we'll see on that. So this is just going to be a resurrection. We're going to get the set working and just kind of clean the cabinet, and we're going to let it go at that. Let me share a couple of things that are different on this chassis compared to the later version of the TS-4. The first obvious thing, high voltage cage. Square edges, kind of crude looking the way they've made the cage. Later versions had the rounded corners. There's the later versions, what it looks like. This chassis uses a 6SQ7 for an audio amp tube. The tuner's different. No fine tuning. And this tuner has channel 1 on it also. There's a sleeve that attaches to the shorter shaft that brings it out to the spline shaft where it meets the other two controls on the front of the set. Here's a look at the tuner without the fine tuning and the channel 1 position. Looks kind of similar to other TS-4s without the fine tuning. These slugs right here are for your different channel positions. The rest of the chassis looks pretty similar to what the later TS-4s look like. One difference is these caps. They have blue paper sleeves on them. It says Motorola. Even though it's upside down, I think you can read that. So I would like to try to save those paper sleeves to reuse them. But we'll see what we can come up with there. So my plan is to see if I can get this chassis working without changing the electrolytic caps. Hopefully they're working enough to power the chassis up, and we'll see if we can get some kind of image on it. I haven't checked any of the tubes or replaced any parts in this chassis yet, but I'm just going to do a power up and we'll see if we get anything at all. And with the Syncor PR57, it's a safe way of doing it. So let's see what happens. Got a little 3-inch test tube just to complete the filament line. Have my meter on the minus and the plus. C78. See, the minus goes to pin 6 of the ballast, and then the plus goes to pin 3. Easy place to connect to. And we're drawing a little over an amp. We have 212 volts roughly. The electrolytics are not getting hot. Tuner's working. We got sound. And no brightness, so I'm assuming no high voltage. So I'm going to change these high voltage caps. Alright, just tacked in some of the high voltage caps. I will be restuffing these old caps. But for now, we just got these tacked in. I got us some high voltage. Got 5,000 volts, so that should be good. We still don't have any deflection. Well, I've changed practically all of the paper caps. Still can't get any horizontal deflection, but I think I have found the problem. Got a transformer that's right here. This one right here. And here it is on the schematic. So that transformer is open. This section here. Fortunately, I have a parts chassis. I've taken a lot of parts off of this set, but still has a transformer. So I'm going to first I'll check it, make sure it's okay. But if it is, we'll pull that out, put that in, and we should have some deflection then. Alright, got the transformer out of the parts chassis. And this is a winding that's open on the one in the set we're working on. And it seems to be good, 168 ohms. Now the only thing I've noticed, this other winding Checks a little different than the one in the set. Checking 58 ohms, and the one in the set checks about 100 ohms. So this is a later version set that I took it out of, and it's a TS-18 also. But hey, I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Should make something different happen anyway. Hopefully it'll work. Well, I think that's going to work. We've still got some video problems, but we do have a raster, and we've got vertical and horizontal working. Well, back on the Motorola this morning, getting a fresh start. I suspected this video detector diode is bad. It's right here. And the circuit this chassis uses, kind of complicated. You can see a lot going on right there in that little circuit. But this diode is open, and that would definitely cause no video. I did hook the scope up, and we have video here on the third IF tube, but nothing here. So we'll see if I can get that diode out without taking all of that circuit out, because it's got a shielded cable that runs from here all the way back to the contrast control. I was able to get the detector diode. It's the same type, 1N34A, 1N34A. This one tests good. I just clipped it out. Here's the old one, a lot larger, but it tests bad. It's completely open. So I'm going to cut the leads on this one, and we'll tack the new one back in and see if we made any improvements. Yeah, definitely. We have some video now. These lines on the side, I'm wondering if that's not that horizontal blocking transformer is called. This one here that I took out of the later version chassis. It looked different, so that may not work. And contrast is working. Brightness is working. The lines on the side of the screen, the white lines. This resistor, it's increased in value. It's supposed to be 39K, it's reading about 220. So that took care of the white lines on the side. Well, we have a really good video now. Vertical is out of proportion. I suspect, haven't checked any resistors in the vertical or the horizontal circuits. That could be the problem there. Well, found a vertical proportion problem. I've had this happen before, and I seem to have forgotten, but sometimes these sets just don't like these little disc capacitors. Even though this is a 0047 6 kV, it just does not. It doesn't like them. It likes the white ones a lot better. So I've changed those two. Yeah, I think that's enough vertical height. And in the centering, yeah, it's working. Right now I'm working on the rectifiers, and they just had these tacked in. on top of the old selenium rectifiers. And of course they were unhooked, but I'm going to take these old ones out and we'll mount a terminal strip right in here somewhere to attach these two permanently. And there's a terminal strip. Some smaller diodes than what they had in there. It's plenty heavy, but kind of overkill. So that's all for part 1. See you in the next video when we get this set finished up. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, and we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel. Thanks.